In a lively village near the coast of Lagos, where the streets were always filled with the sound of drumming and the aroma of fresh fish from the market, there lived a young woman named Adebisi. She was beautiful, kind-hearted, and known for her gentleness. People in the village often admired her quiet strength, but Adebisi carried a heavy burden, self-doubt. She felt that no matter how hard she tried, she was never enough. She was not as bold as Kemi, whose laughter could fill the air, nor as graceful as Ife, whose dance could sway the winds. Adebisi was the daughter of an elder in the village, a wise woman named Mama Sod. Mama Sod had always tried to reassure her daughter, telling her stories of great women and teaching her that every person's strength was unique. "You are like the yam plant," Mama Sod would say. "No matter how the world looks at you, you grow tall, strong, and steady beneath the soil. It is your roots that nourish the land." But Adebisi's heart could never quite understand these words. She believed her roots were too weak to support anything meaningful. One afternoon, as the village was preparing for the annual festival, excitement filled the air. The festival was the most important event of the year, where people from surrounding villages gathered to celebrate and showcase their talents. This year, the king of the village, Obatond, announced that there would be a grand competition for the best singer, and the winner would be crowned the festival queen. "The one who sings the sweetest song will receive honor and gift from the royal court," Obatond declared. "All are welcome to try, but only the finest voice will prevail." The announcement spread like wildfire, and the whole village buzzed with energy. Adebisi's heart sank. She had always admired the singers in the village, especially Kemi and Ife. Kemi's voice was like thunder in the sky, and Ife could dance while singing, making the crowd shout for joy. But Adebisi was quiet, unsure of herself, and afraid her voice would not be enough. When Adebisi returned home that evening, her mother, Mama Sod, noticed her troubled expression. "What weighs on you, daughter?" Mama Sod asked as she stirred the pot of soup on the fire. "I am not like the other women," Adebisi confessed, sitting down beside her mother. "I can't sing like Kemi, and I don't have the grace of Ife. I don't think I should even try. What if I fail and embarrass myself?" Mama Sod paused for a moment, then turned to Adebisi with a soft smile. "Let me tell you the story of the lion and the butterfly," she said. Adebisi was curious. "The lion and the butterfly. What do they have to do with me?" Mama Sod nodded slowly, her voice calm and wise. "A long time ago, there was a mighty lion who roared loudly and fiercely, ruling over all the animals in the forest. One day, the lion encountered a tiny butterfly fluttering by. The butterfly, full of courage, approached the lion and said, 'Great lion, your roar is powerful, but I too have something special. I may not be as strong as you, but my wings carry me to places you cannot reach.'" Adebisi listened intently, her eyes wide. Mama Sod continued, "The lion, curious, asked the butterfly, 'What do you have that I do not?' And the butterfly replied, 'I can reach the flowers on the highest branches, while you can only roam the ground. My gift is my flight.'" The lion understood then that each of them had a gift. The lion's strength, the butterfly's flight. They were both powerful in their own ways. Adebisi's heart softened, but she was still unsure. "But, Mama, what if my voice is too small? What if no one listens?" Mama Sod smiled gently. "My daughter, no one can take away what is yours. Do not be afraid to show your voice, however small. It is the quiet voice that sometimes speaks the loudest." The next day, the villagers began to gather for the festival, and Adebisi felt the weight of uncertainty press down on her. She walked to the village square, her mind full of doubt, but then she saw her best friend, Marank, sitting near the fire with a group of young women. "Adebisi," Marank called, waving her over. "You're not looking yourself today. Come, join us, we are preparing for the festival." Adebisi sat down beside her friend. "I don't know if I can do this, Marank. Everyone else has such powerful voices, and I am so afraid I will fail." Marank placed a hand on her shoulder. "Adebisi, you have nothing to fear. Don't you remember the story of the tortoise and the eagle?" Adebisi looked at her friend, puzzled. The Tortoise and the Eagle. How does that story help me? Marang grinned, a sparkle in her eye. Listen well. There was once a tortoise who was small and slow, while the eagle could fly high and fast. When the animals held a race to the top of the mountain, the tortoise had no wings, no speed, no advantage at all. But the tortoise was wise, and he knew that with patience and persistence, he could win. While the eagle flew ahead and took breaks, the tortoise moved slowly but steadily, never stopping. In the end, the tortoise won the race, not because he was the fastest, but because he believed in his own way of doing things. Adebisi thought about the story. So, you are saying I don't need to be like the others? That my voice can be enough? Marang nodded. Exactly. Your voice is yours, and that is powerful enough. The day of the festival arrived. The village square was bustling with people from all around, the air thick with excitement. Musicians drummed, and dancers twirled in colorful garments. Adebisi's heart raced in her chest, but she knew she had to try. When it was her turn to sing, she stepped forward nervously, her palms sweaty. The chief, overturned, sat on his throne, his eyes watching her closely. The crowd quieted. Adebisi could feel all their gazes on her, and for a moment, she wanted to run away. But then she remembered Marang's words, and she thought of her mother's teachings. Adebisi closed her eyes and took a deep breath, letting the music inside her fill her. Her voice, soft and gentle, began to rise. It was not as powerful as Kemi's, nor as fast as Ife's, but it was pure, filled with emotion and love. As she sang, she felt the weight in her chest lift. She sang of the land, of the ocean, of her ancestors, of everything that mattered to her. The crowd listened in silence, drawn into the quiet beauty of her song. When she finished, there was a long pause. Then, slowly, the villagers began to clap, and soon, the entire square erupted in cheers. Oberton rose from his throne, smiling. Adebisi, he said, his voice carrying through the crowd, your song has touched our hearts. Your voice may not have been the loudest, but it was the truest. You have shown us that it is not the size of your voice that matters, but the truth in it. Adebisi stood there, her heart swelling with pride. She had done it. She had faced her fears, overcome her doubts, and found the strength to be herself. That evening, as she sat by the fire with Marang, Adebisi smiled. Thank you, my friend. I understand now. My voice is enough. Marang grinned and replied, you always were enough, Adebisi. You just needed to believe it. Moral lesson. The story of Adebisi teaches that each of us has a unique gift, even if it doesn't look like what others expect. Self-doubt may cloud our vision, but true strength comes from embracing who we are. It is not about being the loudest or the strongest. When we believe in our own worth, we find the courage to shine, no matter how quiet our voices may be.